try to correct crowding, correct overbite, correct occlusion. But considering she got a pachylateral, what we need to do is we need to do the space redistribution. So collaboration. We redistribute the space, and also it will put this into our treatment planning, no matter what kind of occlusion we are doing. Okay, so actually with quality, extraction protocol, and also doing lower molar dilatation. But in this session, I will focus less on how to control the tooth movement. We talk about collaboration. So while we will knowing about the tooth movement, one of the most important thing is we leave space next to the lateral incisor, the pachylateral, so that we can restore it. But what is the right timing to restore it? We can do it after we finish all the treatment. But sometimes the treatment may not be a minor tooth movement or instead alignment. It may take long because there is extraction treatment with a deep line and lower. So after the first series of alignment, what we are doing is we want to give the patient early improvement. For early improvement, these are things we do on the same day. Okay, we leave some space next to the lateral, and then we try to, and the same thing we want some compass. I just pack some compass. I'm quick. I just use about 10 minutes to pack some compass because we know we will have to do it away. But with this, I got a mop-up immediately to see the patient's preference, and I prepare the tooth, and I get a 10-minute crown on the same day. Of course, if we are not sure whether now the tooth is in the best status for the crown, you can just use the temporary crown to improve the patient's aesthetic as an early improvement for the patient. Of course, if the situation is good, we can do a ceramic crown immediately before we do a rescan for additional aligners. So that is, the patient is still undergoing treatment because sometimes orthodontic treatment can be long. But why don't we keep it with a much nice looking crown on the lateral side rather than with two pachylateral with space. So that early improvement is important for the patients. So during the treatment. Okay, so that is what we call collaboration. We redistribute the space and on this digital platform, and also we find the right timing to give the patient early improvement. Okay, so the movement is still going on, but the patient got much better smile throughout the treatment. Early improvement. So, collaboration is a key word. So for this patient, a teen patient, 30 years old, she's complaining of her smile. Actually, it's not just pachylateral. You get microdontia on all four incisors. And also, patient got a little bit deep bite, and also, actually from the facial profile, she got a little bit retruding mandible, but still looking very, very pretty. So what we need to do is, after we do the diagnosis for about orthodontic tooth movement, and then we try to redistribute the space and reposition the tooth, correct the location, we track it back, so that we leave space for the final for the restoration. And also, as an additional information, we try to use stage intrusion to correct the deep bite and do some mandibular advancement. Okay. Although it is not a severe retruding mandible, but we still want to give her some improvement. So orthodontic treatment here, our aligner treatment comparatively is easy because we know that is something that will happen. No matter stage extrusion, arch formation is easy. Whether we get mandibular advancement, it depends on patient stage and the potential growth. So while the patient got improvement in the advancement of mandible, any open up, we use virtual elastic to help. So after the first treatment, we're doing, and while the patient is still wearing the last aligner, before the adjustment aligner, I try to use compass for the patient to give her early improvement. Maybe we still need some detail, maybe you can wait. But if you are the patient, or the patient is your daughter's, do you want to wait? I'm not going to make her crowns of her hair, but at least I can just use some simple lesson to help her to improve her aesthetics before we do the additional alignments. So, and then we will we will start our additional liner to detail all the alignment and occlusion. So arch development, redistribution of space, early improvement with composite, and then the patient has option to do any veneer or ceramic crowns in the future. Okay, that is how we finish the case with a nice alignment and occlusion, molar class 1, canine class 1, nice overjut, overbite, but the most important thing is the tooth got a more nice looking smile with this restoration after the redistribution of space. The root parallelism, the improvement in the overjut, overbite, but can you see actually we got some progress in the advancement of the mandible. As the mandible advanced, does it look better for the patient? Okay, that's what we can do. So sometimes what restorative treatment cannot be done for the patient, cannot do it for the patient, we can have orthodontic treatment. And after orthodontic treatment, it also gives us a better position of the tooth so that we can do things more minimal invasive. Of course, when we talk about composites, usually it's more minimal invasive. But when we talk about drilling, for preparing for crown or veneer, a reposition and redistribution of space is very important steps for it. Improving her smile. Okay, now she is studying at the university as a veteran, but she's still keeping the composite. Actually, the composite has been here for 4 years. Okay, so I just laid it here to see will be a date that the patient wanted to do it. But on and off, when she comes to my office as a review, I will try to do some polishing, or we just add a little bit back. That's the way we're helping the patient. Okay, I don't consider it as a final restoration, but the patient just use it for longer than I expected. Okay. We're not just handling microdontia and pad-shaped teeth. Sometimes we are handling something like missing teeth, and we can open it up for an implant, and also we can close the space or keep the space closed and use camouflage to solve the problem. For this patient is coming with a correct crowding. He has C-line shape, and probably you see the patient is missing one of the lateral incisor, and there is a microdontia here. Is it really a microdontia? Or is it a deciduous? But no matter what, we make decision, how can we do it? So we make it a whole planning by expansion, gaining of space to correct the crowding and reduce the teeth bite with stage intrusion. But for the collaboration, what we need to do is, the first thing we have to think whether we should keep the small teeth, whether is it deciduous or microdontia. But no matter what, we decide to take it away. But not opening up space for implant, we try to close all the space and let the canine, use the canine to camouflage the lateral. So tooth movement going on. And we remove the microdontia or the baby teeth, but we try to do IPR or close the space first to ensure aesthetically it's more pleasing for the patient. And then we gain space to correct crowding. And also use the extraction space for the lateral to correct midline. Okay, so things happen. Okay, midline is corrected. Local speed is left a little bit because some off-tracking in the molar region on the lower right, but the patient still feel now looking very nice. But it just the canine next to the central is not nice looking. It's always difficult to do camouflage because everything depends on the size proportion compared to the width between the canine and the central, and also about the gum margin. Of course, canine always look down a little bit. Okay, so before I start the additional line, the collaboration will be just like before. We distribute the space, we position the teeth, and then we give her early improvement. What have I done? Composite. I do a lot of composite because it's simple, won't cost too much, and let the patient appreciate the change, the value, and so that she can think later on about whether she should go for a ceramic crown or not. So, but it still look down a little bit because it's canine, and the gum margin still not in the same level. Okay, everything depends on the size. So I just flatten it a little bit add some comments on visual digital, and also for later we trim it flat a little bit. So, and then we can proceed on the refinement. After refinement, you can see we finish, and sometimes I use fixed retainer on the upper as well. And also we open up the bite and finish the occlusion nicely. And you can see now, exactly the canine look a little bit dark, but as tooth form smile is still alright. So the patient should know if she wants to go for a better result, she needs maybe a veneer or a crown. With parallelism, improving her overjet overbite, improving her smile. And actually, the patient has kept its composite for 4 years. So every time she comes back, if she has no intention to change to a ceramic crown, I just maybe do some polishing for her, and she's still keeping it. Okay. Camouflage, misspelling, typo, camouflage, F-L-A-G-E for missing anterior teeth. So, another patient, she is coming with also a missing lateral incisors. And this case is more difficult and will be a long treatment because we need to pull out teeth to correct crowding for the patient. And also there is a severely rotated canine next to the missing lateral, the tooth 3. So, and the bite is a little bit deepened. So, considering it's a long treatment, okay, let's figure what happened to do it. Because with missing one lateral incisor, we discussed the treatment plan, we are not opening up space to restore the lateral, and we do asymmetric extraction, removing the 1-4 so that we can correct the midline, and also we plan IPL on the canine so that we make it a little bit less wide so that it's easier for us to do the camouflage. But before the camouflage, the difficult part is how to derotate the canine. Okay, so after the first treatment, now we can see the extraction space is well managed, and now we can see how can we do something for early improvement for the patient. So this is how we did it. Okay, I try to, because we are doing some IPL, we reduce the width, make it smaller, and then we just put some also composite bifibular to make it look like more incisive form. Okay, so after we give him some early improvement, we continue our treatment and finish the work. Okay, that is the lateral incisor. That is the canine. We turn it into a lateral incisor. We see the root parallelism. And also the patient removed the premolars for the correct crowning. The physical profile is alright. We don't want to make the patient too distant. So that is after the treatment, and we can see before and after. We talk about collaboration, so mainly we redistribute the space, and we plan whether we should use what strategy to improve the smile, whether we should open up for implant or we close it for camouflage. And that is see before the treatment, after the initial alignment, and then we try to put it composite, and then later on afterward we may still in the refinement we can still adjust the position as well as the width with some IPR. Okay, camouflage. Changing the slide. Okay. And that patient who is a patient over I think 15 years. She's coming with a missing central incisor, missing the 1-1. At that time, it's a very early days for me to do the extraction treatments. For a patient with a class 3 occlusion, and with that open bite, and also missing 1-1, what I'm going to do is we do asymmetric extraction on the upper arch and remove another 2 premolar on the lower arch to gain sufficient space to correct the crowding, as well as correct the open bite. Okay, so missing 1-1 and pull out and others premolars. And for the collaboration, one of the most important thing is we talk about space redistribution or space management. We need to know what exactly, how much IPR I should take away from a tooth which is too big to camouflage at the other teeth, or if it's too small, we have to leave some certain space. We use the Bolton analysis to help us to determine it, and on this digital training plan, it's easier for us to, through arch development, to create space of almost exact amount. It's easier than using braces, actually. So we use 36 aligners. At that time, it's 2 week changes in 2008, actually, this case. And we try to correct the midline, correct the angulation inclination, correct open bite, and then we finish at that stage. Okay, from a crowded anterior with open bite to now we got some overbite, and we correct the midline, and now we got the 1-2 in position of 1-1. What we need to do is, first, I will build it up with competence as a mock-up to see the feedback of the patient. And then, I see the gum margin is not level, I do some crown lengthening. Prepare the teeth, finish with a ceramic crown. So, that is the change. Okay, how we transform a smile. So, actually, what I've done is not just on turning the 1-2 into 1-1. I have also turned the 1-3. We try to reduce the cups and also add some composite, just composite, mesial and distal to the canine. Take a little bit IPR to make it look harmonized with the other teeth. So that is what we call collaboration. Space redistribution, early improvement, and also use some warm-up to determine the final size and do some soft tissue management as well as the final crown. And you can also, with this final crown, you may also continue with the detailing of the tooth movement. Okay, we'll talk about something for maybe one teeth or maybe 4 incisors. But what about we expect more? Patients expect more. It's also patient over 15 years before. At that time, I still don't have my first digital camera, so you can see the quality of the picture. But while he coming, he said, I want to change the restoration on his upper anterior teeth, because it's not nice looking. It looks too protrusive, make it look so protrusive. It's so proclined, so big. So with the examination, I see 3 of them have reconstruction done before, and you can see a bimax protrusion. So what can we do? Patient coming in want to change the restoration. Sometimes don't expect a long treatment. Okay. So what we try to make it very simple. It's an early day we're using alignment. So my suggestion is, let's gain some space with maybe slight expansion, but it won't gain much. And also with reapproximation stripping to gain the space to reduce the proclination and correct the width or the tooth proportion before we restore the new crowns. So you can see I did a lot of IPR. It may not be your desired way, but it is all actually one of a very convenient way. And also the movement will be predictable because space is just next to the teeth that we want to resolve the crown. And after the retraction, we can have a better inclination. Where you can see some data is 0.7, 0.6 is too much to you because it's just crown. It's the previous restorations. It's not teeth. Okay, because before he did that restoration, it's because of spacing. So we can trim more. So now we improve the protrusiveness as much as we can. We'll talk about not extracting teeth. And also improve the inclination. Then we prepare our veneer and crowns. So, and then we cement it. Okay, before and after. For this patient, the color matching is very difficult. Tetracycline stain. It's easy for us if we want to make crown from 5 to 5 or 4 to 4, up and lower. but the patient don't want, so I just try to do some whitening, and you can see the color of the vernier crown. We just try to simulate what the patient would have done on more whitening. Okay, it's not an A1, it's just like very milky white. That is what we get if the patient do more teeth whitening. And another patient, when the patient comes, she said, I want to improve my smile. My teeth look very, very short. Okay, can you make the crown for me? Okay, actually the face profile is very nice. Bite is a little bit detailed, and ESC severe attrition and some minor crowding. So for this patient, we're not just doing spatial distribution. We need to move the tooth to create more clearance for a longer crown length. So you can see I try to correct the alignment, correct midline, and do some intrusion so that we can get more clearance. So during the treatment, actually, we still got interference at posterior open bite, but the posterior open bite will be resolved because you can see the posterior attrition as well. So we plan to restore the posterior attrition together with the anterior crown. So what we need to do is, that is what we done before in the first aligners treatment. And then I scan and send the exocad file, STL file, and the laboratory, and we use exocad to help me to plan, to do a digital website. Then we clean it out, and we did a silicone index, and I do a mock-up for the patient. So the patient can visualize what will be done and how will it look like inside patient's mouth. That is mock-up with some temporary material. Okay, and then afterward we can communicate. Okay, and the patient don't want the canine to be too sharp, and which teeth I want it to be more roundish. We can communicate. Then we can start the preparation. Okay, that is the try-in. The cementation process finished. Okay, so that is how the changes is going. We select the color is comparatively whiter than the original color. I would expect the patient to do other teeth as well, and also do some white tooth whitening. To me now it's too white, but that is how we discuss with the patient. Because the patient said, probably my incisor is very white, to see whether we can bleach it. Okay. But now the patient is moved to area overseas. She's not in Hong Kong, so we're just waiting for her to come back to see what may happen after whitening. But we'll see how the spatial distribution create of occlusal clearance to help us to restore the crown. Okay. Have you heard about Invisalign architect? Have you tried to use it? Because in previous case, you can see the importance of the visualization of the